Welcome into College Corner as we preview a massive, always massive, Saturday slate in college basketball with some of the biggest games and my 3 favorite plays for you. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel as well if you enjoyed. We kicked things off on Thursday with a really tough go in terms of 1-2 finish, but it took double OT for our under not to hit, which was very tough. Always hurts to have a loser that way. But 3 picks here to bounce back. We're looking at some really big games on the slate here on Saturday too, as we're getting this out as early as possible to you guys. Let's start with the first one, and it's back to a total, but we're going to the Big 12. I got 2 games actually for you guys in the Big 12, but let's start with Iowa State and Kansas State. The total's listed at 133.5. These are 2 teams that matched up not too long ago, put up 156 points, well over what this total is set at 133.5. So why were they able to do that, and can they replicate it? Well, they both shot over 50% in the game, which in my mind is less likely to be replicated because these are 2 pretty respectable defenses, but both teams got to the line, which is a big way that Kansas State gets their points. They're actually 29th in percentage of points from the free throw line, and both of these teams rank outside the top 300 in opponent free throw rate. So expect both these teams to get to the line. That's a good way to get some extra points and get points and have efficient possessions. But as well, for Iowa State, Kansas State has struggled to keep teams off the offensive glass, and that was a big reason why Iowa State ended up winning that game and ended up this game ended up going over the total, is being able to get on the glass and get some second chance points. They had a number of second chance points in that game. So I'm looking at Iowa State to be really heavy on the glass and second chance opportunities. And then as well, expect Kansas State because, again, a lot of their points come from getting the line between Marquise Knoll and Keontae Johnson. Expect them to be at the free throw line quite a bit here. And then as well, which is always good, Kansas State is a pretty fast team as well. They're 48th in pace this season. So expect them to be able to play with some pace. When you got a fast-paced team in Kansas State and then a slower-paced team in Iowa State, I always tend to see the game play a little bit faster. So I really like the matchup here. I like the pace of this game. Iowa State should be able to get some points attacking inside, which has been a bit of a problem for Kansas State defensively. So I like this over. I think it's fairly low. This is, of course, going to be a great atmosphere, a big game here on Saturday, and I think we will continue to see points much like we did in the previous matchup. So give me the over 133.5. Next up, we head to the SEC. Auburn is on the road at Vanderbilt. Auburn is a 4-point favorite in this game, and I like Auburn to cover the -4. Vandy's been hot lately. They had wins over Tennessee, over Florida. They've won 4 straight here now. Auburn coming off a win over Mizzou. I believe that was on Tuesday. I think this is another matchup, much like the Mizzou one. Vandy here leans on the 3 quite a bit this season. Looking at the numbers, 42.4% of their shots come from 3. That's 58th in the country. So a team relying on the 3s against a defense that's very good against it. Auburn's opponents are shooting just 27%. That's 4th in the country from 3. So matchup is bad offensively for Vandy. And then for Auburn offensively, they score a lot from 2 and the free throw line. Vanderbilt, I think they rank 212th in 2-point defense, so they should be able to score on the interior and attacking the rim for Auburn. And Auburn offensively has had some turnover problems. That's been the case this season. It's pretty often a case for Auburn, but Vandy not forcing many turnovers. They're 344th in opponent turnover rate, so a good matchup here for Auburn, both offensively and then especially defensively. So on the road, usually that kind of brings the spread down towards in the direction of the home team in terms of, this number might look a little bit fishy, but I don't think it will because, again, Vandy's been hot, but Vandy at home, 4-10 against the spread at home. Has not been good. And Auburn 6-3 against the spread on the road. So I like Auburn on the road. You can't really like Vandy here at home. I like Auburn to cover what is a relatively short number. I think they win this game by double digits. So give me Auburn -4 at Vanderbilt. Last game here, like I mentioned, staying in the Big 12. We've got TCU at home against Oklahoma State. I'm very excited for this TCU team to get Mike Miles back. They got Eddie Lampkin back earlier this week and still did lose. They've lost 4 straight now coming in, including a loss to Oklahoma State, 6 points on the road at Oklahoma State. Now they come back home. I like them, -4. I think this is going to be a team that's got a fair bit of energy being able to get Miles back, who is their biggest scorer and their go-to guy. But as well, Oklahoma State is a team that's not a very efficient offense, and the Cowboys do have some problems being able to take care of the ball. And TCU does a great job of forcing steals, and getting Miles back will be a big part of that against their guards. TCU's 21st in opponent turnover rate, so I really like that matchup there. And what I do like for TCU in terms of getting things back on track offensively, Oklahoma State is a very, very good defense. Don't get me wrong. The one thing you can do is get to the free throw line. Miles, that's a big part of what he does offensively. He can get to the line 10 plus times a game at times. And in this matchup, I would expect that. I think they're going to be more aggressive offensively. And Oklahoma State offensively is very inefficient. They're a great defense, not a very efficient offense. Like I mentioned, they struggle with turnovers. But what I really like here is that in the previous matchup, Oklahoma State shot 52% from the field. That is not something you typically see from them. So I expect TCU defensively at home to be in a better spot here. And then between Bryce Thompson and Avery Anderson, their offensive ratings are both in like the low 90s. Like this offense is not operating at a very high level in my mind. And going on the road here with turnover problems against a really good TCU defense, who's definitely going to be feeling like this is a run they need to get going on here in the Big 12 on Saturday, bouncing back after these 4 losses. Getting Miles back is going to be huge. I like them to cover -4. They only lost by 6 on the road without Miles. Getting him back, being a short favorite, I think this is a really advantageous spot for a TCU team that is a great opportunity to buy low. I've already bought low. I was able to get them at plus 5,000 to win the national title. Definitely a team I'm willing to take a chance on. So they made a run last year. I think they can make another run this year. And I think it starts right here on Saturday in the stretch run here, the Big 12, to get a good seat here in the tournament. So give me TCU -4. Okay, let's recap everything we have here in our 3 plays. Kansas State, Iowa State, over 133.5. And then we've got Auburn -4 on the road at Vanderbilt, and TCU -4 at home against Oklahoma State. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, and enjoy a great Saturday of college hoops. Only a few left, and then it's going to be Selection Sunday. So be sure to let me know what you guys are betting on Saturday, and we will see you guys on the next one.